What's up, everyone? CryptoVatsik here. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Would also really appreciate if you hit that like button to support the channel before we get started. And if you find this content helpful, please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future updates. As always, this is not financial advice and are my opinions only. But let's get right into it. All right, folks, today we got XRP on the chart, and I'm going to provide my current thoughts, providing the bearish case and the bullish case. We've obviously seen quite the nice move so far, so I think it deserves some attention at this point to start to determine determine if we're going to see further upside or if this move is going to fail and break down. So one of the first things I like to do is I like to look at that previous range breakout. So we obviously had this range that we were in over here that came down to the swing low that acted as quite a significant area that we, even though we broke to the outside of the range, it still respected it quite well, right? So that's why I'd like to see the same thing happen here if you're a bull, is the fact that even though we're outside of that range, it's forming that sort of that base that we had previously in this bearish consolidation back here in May, okay? So clearly the case with this is the fact that we broke up, we basically shot right through the range, but we came back down and just perfectly retested the EQ back here around 41 cents and change. And so that was a clear signal that this is now acting as an area of demand. So I would like to see if we were going to head up that top of this range, the top of the band here to hold, or you could basically say within this area, we really need to see that hold. And it is quite a large area, but essentially that is our zone now of demand. And if we lose this, then it's failed. It's likely heading to new lows, in my opinion, if we lose that. So really would like to see, you can tighten it up, but would really like to see this low essentially hold for now, okay? Now the second thing clearly, which you can see, is the EMAs, the moving averages here that we got on the chart. I got the 100 and 200. Clearly, we've broken above them with some strength and confidence, so that is very nice to see. We had only done that previously, well, not for quite some time. We haven't been trading above them, and it's from back here. The difference from this bottom was that we really just didn't have that area of consolidation or accumulation, right? We had this basically the three pushes down, where we bottomed out here in July and then really just a sharp reversal straight back up. And so when you start to get these sharp reversals, you get the reaction back later on, right? So we did come back well above the EMAs back here, but we were still on this overall downtrend, right? So right here, still on this overall downtrend. And so we just didn't really have that time to power up, which we have had that in this point here between basically the beginning of this range until we broke above it. In this area of consolidation, accumulation, whatever you want to call it, we have had that chance to really power up to this move. So that is definitely part of the bullish case for now, that we are above these EMAs, except you got to take it in consideration, zoom out onto higher time frame, really give yourself perspective to see what's going on the daily here. I think we were on the 12-hour before, but now we're on the daily. We are still toying with the 200 EMA. I believe that's 200, maybe it's 100. Yeah, 200 EMA. And, it's acting as resistance. So I don't think that if we do continue straight up from here, then I do think the correction is going to be bigger. So if we can start to form some sort of base here, I just think that it would prolong this move if we are bullish and we can get some sort of running flat correction here, then I think that we're likely to see higher, and I'll get into where I think that's headed in a second. So the question becomes, if this is our first impulse wave, have we corrected? Have we had our ABC running flat correction in here, right? So basically, is this our first impulse, wave one, and then this is our wave two, and we're working on a third, meaning that this is our ABC correction here, or is this our overall ABC running flat or expanding flat, correction before we're heading up? To be determined, right? So I just don't know that yet with enough price on the chart at this point, but if we are taking our fib extension and we're taking it from the bottom to the top of this and say we're coming to the low here, then we're looking for that 1-to-1 extension, which means that we're looking right around 67, 68 cents. area. So right around 65, 66 cents would be a one-to-one extension for our wave 3 coming if you think that this is our first impulse wave, right? So we are coming into an area of resistance that has been resistance for quite some time. Oh, before I get to that, this macro diagonal, this downward diagonal, good sign. We've had multiple touches since April 2021. Clearly bear market coming down, had our bottom form here for now. Not saying this can't go lower, but for now it's a really good sign, and we've broken out with confidence. We had a retest on that diagonal. Wherever you take it, we have had that retest, breakout, retest, and continue to push up. So nice to see for now. But we are coming into resistance. This previous base that we had, I think it came all the way even from back here. It's quite large, but we will take it for here. And that is a base that we had so previously it was a ceiling, right? So we had ceiling here, it's resistance, and then finally bullish consolidation. Upward support, diagonal consolidation until we broke up, back test, and then retest, and then came back up during that bull market. And then we came back, double bottomed out here, got some divergences, I think, nice bottom. Even a wick randomly here, don't know what happened in the news at that point. And then a temporary bottom, of course, at this point, until we tried to hold it, one last ditch effort, our final up move before crash. And now what have we done? We've just come right back up to that. We've wicked inside of it, and take it with a grain of salt. Some people like to take from the wicks, some people like to take from the candles or the ranges. Theory being is that it's an area that is being respected, right? So that's all we can do, is we can look at what are the indicators or levels that price is respecting, right? Just like it's respecting the EMAs, right? In a bull market, it's respecting the EMA 100 as support. It's respecting the EMA 100 and 200 as support and resistance here simultaneously. So you're just looking for those areas that price is respecting nicely. And sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. At this point, the EMAs were being respected as resistance very well until we came back up here. And now that we've smashed right through it, you have to assume that they'd be likely areas of support. However, we're pinched in with this red zone of resistance, which was clearly our origin of our breakdown from back here in beginning of May. That was our monthly open. And then, essentially just has retested it here, potentially double top. To each their own, whatever you might think, if formulate your own thesis, but I'm just trying to provide the bullish and bearish case at this point. Okay, one more thing. I think there's something on the weekly. On the weekly, we are still below the 100 EMA here as resistance. Okay, so we're coming to the weekly. So right up to that base that I had drawn out in red here lines up very well with that 100 EMA exponential moving average. I think the simple moving average might be similar, but either way, just candle closes here, just definitely strong resistance is the point. Now on a lower time frame, it's getting quite busy. Okay, so lower time frame, of course, if we're working on a third wave, we want to see this trend hold. That was terrible. We want to see this trend hold. Okay, so we've got 3 taps here. That's enough to confirm this is a lower time frame trend. So obviously we want to see that hold. We want to see this resistance broken right here. So then, get ascending triangle. Sure, looks fine. We need to put more pressure on this resistance on this ceiling if we're gonna talk about breaking up and going up to 65, 66 cents area. And so long as these EMAs are holding as support here, as in theory, hypothetical support, because they're not technical supports. But if we can hold them like we have been on a lower time frame, then I think on a higher time frame we could have another push up to that area of 65 cents. Definitely, though, that's on the table. And really it's on the table for sure. What else? What was I gonna say here? I had another point. see what RSI is doing. Zoom out. Yeah, so we've printed bearish divergence on RSI, higher high in price. I don't like that. Higher high in price, lower high in RSI. Not what you want to see if you're a bull. But it could be a temporary correction, right? We could come down to, you know, if our wave 2 isn't done yet, if you think our wave 2 isn't done yet, and we could still be coming down and testing the 618 potentially for our wave 2, and then our wave 3 up, and that would be, you know, we'd want to see that in RSI, but that would at least confirm the bearish divergence here that we've got lower high in RSI and then higher high in price. But I just don't love that ascending wedge here as well, potentially, which is bearish, which would, you know, essentially then, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't expect this to be a wave 2. I would have expected this would be a 5-wave structure that's completed, potentially a first wave impulse. Depends how you look at it. I'm not going to get in too much on the elliotwave counts right now, but yeah, I don't love that volume declining as well. Yeah, I mean, this could be an SFP as well right now, like just given this massive wick that we've had here that printed quite a high on that first impulse wave. Could be an SFP here, right? So this swing failure pattern on here, and then on a lower time frame, definitely getting some market structure breaks here for sure, right here. You know, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, market structure break. So honestly, if we got something like this, I would be shorting that. Yeah, basically come back up into supply, you know, sweep this origin of that market structure break would be a short for me. And then we've also got this new range that we have playing around the EQ there. So yeah, we had this level of resistance here that we broke into the upside, sure. So yeah, I mean, you know, obviously if you're a bull, you want to see this EQ hold. Definitely you want to see the low hold, but then ultimately you want to see a break of that upper band. Again, if we come into supply on lower time frame here, given this market structure break, I'd be shorting, you know, any kind of retest deviation back down to the EQ, probably down further actually, but I won't be trading XRP right now. I've got some other trades on the go. I got enough on the plate. I don't need to watch another one, but I just liked the move of this, given the relative strength compared to the rest of the market, tons of volume. You know, broke a lot of technicals on this move, which is great, but you know, I do know Ripple likes to pump when it does. So I've seen so many pumps like this just fail. Like, just keep in mind, guys, you know, we could have what kind of percentage was this? You know, 180% pump that retraced in a matter of what, 30 days? So less than a month, you know, few weeks or few, like 1 week, it makes the high, whatever, and then yeah, basically straight back down, stairs up, that elevator down, right? So just be wary of that. But yeah, I mean, it's been a nice move. I think it really depends on what Bitcoin's going to do and Ethereum as well. But I do like it. I mean, you know, you just got to play it as you see fit, and play it as you see price action develop. You know, it's good to stay flexible in these kinds of markets, right? We don't know if this is the bottom yet. We don't know if this was our accumulation for the cycle bottom. I mean, if that's our accumulation for a cycle bottom, it wasn't very long, in my opinion. You know, you like to see long accumulation powering up for the next move. The longer the accumulation, the more powerful the move, right? The shorter the accumulation or consolidation, the shorter the move. So just my thoughts for now. Thanks so much for joining. Hope you enjoyed it. You found something helpful in this video. I will keep doing these as much as I can, and I'll give you my thoughts on the next one. Thanks for joining. See you then. Ciao.